What's up everybody, Chad here for yet another video, and today we are going to be talking about just why it is not that big a deal if you did pre-order the Tesla Cybertruck. So debatably the biggest reason that it's not a big deal if you did pre-order a Tesla Cybertruck is because that pre-order, the amount that you put down, the $100, not a very large amount, is totally refundable up until it is ready for delivery. So if you decide that the day before it is supposed to be delivered to your home, to you, to whichever place it may be, you can actually cancel it, get a full refund, no strings attached, which I thought was a really interesting way that they went about it. But that is actually pretty common amongst Tesla. They did that before when you could pre-order, say, the S or the 3, when you put down the different amounts for that. For the S model, I believe you had to put down $50,000 as a pre-order, which is a pretty large amount, but then they bumped that down to, I believe it was $1,000 for the Model 3, and then even further down to $100 for the Cybertruck, which obviously garnered a lot of attention, and a lot of people did pre-order. There were over 250,000 pre-orders within the first week, and which I thought was pretty cool to get that much attention. And it just shows just how polarizing this design is, because some people, when they saw it roll up on stage, if you watch the video, several of the people laughed in the crowd. They were like in disbelief that this was actually something that Elon Musk and Tesla has brought to the market, which it is entirely possible. But another reason that it's not such a big deal if you pre-ordered it is because Tesla and Elon, unfortunately, are not super great about hitting deadlines all the time, or at least that has been the history of it. Same with the autopilot feature. They were expecting it to be totally done and rolled out by now, and maybe even in 2020, but we know that that most likely will not happen, because it even says that if you add on the $7,000 option onto your Cybertruck pre-order for the full autonomy and self-driving, it says that the pricing and whatnot is still subject to change. And if you look into it a little bit further, they are still working on that and are obviously rolling out updates constantly to their fleet of vehicles that are already out there on market. So it's going back to the design of it. It to me is kind of cool. Because one, you don't have a vehicle that looks like that anywhere out there. I mean, other than maybe the Pontiac Aztek, but that still has smoother lines than the Cybertruck does. But it obviously, just like the other Tesla models, will make you think of a DeLorean. Not only in the sense that this is a stainless steel truck, a very, very hard stainless steel truck that appears to only be in one color, which I believe we are going to have a few other color options, but also the shape of it, and obviously for the time now, but then comparing it back to say the Back to the Future movies, the DeLorean looked a little bit futuristic, and there's no mistake in the fact that the Cybertruck actually is very, very futuristic. One other reason it's not such a big deal if you did pre-order the Cybertruck is that we don't know if this is actually going to come to market. We've seen some renditions of it kind of drawn up, and some people were guessing what it was going to look like prior to their worldwide premiere of the Cybertruck. But it's still not finished. One reason being the model that they showed and took people on drives in did not have any side view mirrors. I don't know if you all had noticed that, because there's kind of a very polygonal look to the rest of the vehicle that makes it very, very easy to miss little things like side view mirrors, or the fact that the headlights could very well not be DOT approved currently, because they are really, really bright. I don't know if you all had noticed that as it came onto stage, and any of the videos I've seen of people going on little test drives right after the event, those are some pretty bright lights. In addition to that, people are wondering if it will be allowed to actually, in its current form, be put out there for everybody to have, because there's currently not really a crumple zone. You know how there are now these pedestrian crumple zones that are built into vehicles? I think they're meant to be for impacts of 10 to 15 miles an hour, something like that. But that's why there's so much space in the front of vehicles nowadays. Like, for instance, the Tacoma that I'm driving right now. You look at the very front, if you pop the hood, there is so much room in between the plastic front grille and the radiator, and part of that has to do with the pedestrian crumple zone. If you get hit by that Tesla at such a slow speed of 10 to 15 miles an hour, you still might get a cut on you from the very front of it. It just looks super sharp. I mean that in the complimentary way, and also it's physically sharp. If you see the front end of that truck, it could cut something. So, with all that being said, I think it's actually a pretty cool setup. And the fact that they are offering 3 different models, as so far as we can see, a single motor being rear-wheel drive, a dual motor being all-wheel drive, so you have another motor up in the front, and then a tri-motor, which puts 2 individual motors in the rear. Not only are you supposedly supposed to get 500 plus miles of range on that battery for the tri-motor, but you're going to have a really, really fast 0 to 60. I believe it was 2.9 seconds. I might be citing the wrong number, but either way, it is very, very fast for a vehicle that's the size, roughly, of an F-150, and it weighs pretty much as an F-250. So those are some strong electric motors, and I really can't wait to see it. All these things being said, I did actually pre-order one.